Hello. Today we'll be trying to play high notes on a trumpet. This is my Bach B-flat trumpet. And what I'll be covering in this video is first how to do a quick lesson on how to play a trumpet, and eventually get to the high part on how to play a trumpet, which is the majority of the video. So I'll be covering the different types of trumpet, if the types of trumpet affects like the range, and if the mouthpiece affects stuff like that. So let's get on to the video. And fair warning, I am no way a professional. I am a high school junior of this recording, trying to teach people how to play an instrument that I am kind of not good at. So any musician, if you just want to leave in the comments what I did wrong, that'd be great. So enjoy. Alright, do the different types of trumpet matter? Does like the type of trumpet that you're using matter? And that's why I kind of specified in the beginning, do like my B flat. Yes and no. The range, I'm going to go over two other trumpets, and with this one, so technically it's three, so we have three trumpets in total that we go covering. We have the piccolo, and then we have the flugelhorn. The piccolo is especially really high because a B flat on, not B flat, a concert F on here is much it will have a different sound than it does on like a piccolo or a flugel. From what when I had the chance to experiment with a flugelhorn, the flugelhorn has a much more, all instruments have a resonant sound, but has a little bit of a deeper sound, than it is. It's, I don't know if you can tell the difference. So here's a couple clips of the different types of trumpets just hitting a straight concert F. To me, it sounds like the piccolo has a much more higher concert F than kind of different sound, like the difference between a tuba concert F and a clarinet concert F. Something similar to like that. It's still a concert F. It's still the concert F, but it is different sounding. So it really depends on the type of trumpet you're using, because piccolo is normally really high, and flugelhorns kind of go a little deeper. But yeah, type of trumpet kind of matters, but for this, B flat. So, do mouthpiece matter? Let's go over the mouthpiece. Not really. So here we have the two mouthpieces that I use. Here's my 3C, here's my 5C. The difference between the C's, or the different types of mouthpiece, is the cup sizes, and also it can also mean the rim. Because there's 3 B's and 1 C, there's a bunch of different types of mouthpiece, but usually it has to correlate with the structure of the mouthpiece. A typical 5C will come with a beginner trumpet, 7 or 7C. It's mostly common found when it comes with it, but it's not, when it comes to 5Cs and 7Cs, it's more of comfort than it is beginner level. Because you don't start with you can start with a 3C, of course, but it depends on the comfort level of playing an instrument. And people can go since this project's about high range, people can go really high on a 5C, and people can go really high on the 3C. It's more in fact making your life easier playing an instrument. So I typically use a 3C, which helps me go higher than a typical 5C. If I am playing a piece of music that is more lower notes, I typically use a 5C because I won't have to go into high range. If I need to go higher, then I typically use a 3C. So yeah, mouthpieces really don't matter. It depends on the comfort level, and of course all mouthpieces are different. This is take this 3C for example, just shallow cup, but the rim compared to these two, they look exactly the same. The rim can be smaller, it can be thicker, it can be any sort, but the type of mouthpiece really don't matter. All right, let's do a quick thing about air. So, instruments, especially with this one, require air. Simple as that. Here you have a mouthpiece, which you put up to your lips. So, your embouchure, when it comes to your lips and your embouchure, make like the neutral emoji, like, and press your lips together, but not like squeeze them together. Like, just press them together, and then it's supposed to kind of like put like the corners of your lips kind of just like a kind of look like a bunny rabbit. But make sure your lips are still together. So when you play, like, I'm just gonna buzz. Easy. Now, when it want to go higher, you have to make the air a little smaller. And by doing that, you have to close up the hole that is allowing the air to move out. You don't want to close your throat. You close up the hole just a bit. So, like, see on here? Just kind of just, not really tighten your lips, but sort of. Also, when it comes to the airspeed, you also want to push more air out from your lungs. And always breathe through your stomach. Don't like, you always want to from your stomach. Don't want to do it for your chest. So, air in. And when you want to go lower, vice versa, you push out less air. So, that's air on a trumpet. One of the big parts about playing high notes is that you need to not only be in tune, but you also need to warm up. So here's a quick video of me spliced together of me warming up with my concert band. Cool. Now, here we have this. Now, what if you're alone? What if you need to play an instrument? Like, if you're just playing alone, you're just trying to learn. Well, you can always do sorts of things, but one of the biggest ways is a warm-up packet. This is the one that my school has provided me. So, we are going to do I'm going to perform here a quick version of, well, that's fun, of a certain warm-up that my band does. Now, some of you might know this, but where I go with it. So, this warm-up kind of really gets like the mouth and the embouchure kind of more, like, well, warmed up with the instrument. So, I'm going to just perform this for you right now. So that warm-up that I just did usually really helps the lips kind of get buzzed like, and makes it kind of like, and gets used to playing on the mouthpiece. So warming up helps. Now, you don't do just one warm up, you do more, but there are different types of warm ups. Like, and after you do a warm up that usually just gets the like the embouchure woken up and like your lips used to it, then that's when you can start doing high notes. But that was just a demonstration of a basic solo warm up. Okay. What I forgot to mention when you're playing an instrument, you always have to tune. Always have to tune your instruments because you don't want something to sound bad when you're playing a certain like piece or like a certain note. So typical G or concert F. But you see here, this is what a tuning slide is. And if you're sharp, you pull out. If you're flat, you push in. And this could like, now this is majority just used for like a bunch of air, like depending on the person and how well you are in tune. But usually you want it like roughly about there. Well, as what my band director said. And I'll just give you like the different types of like, so you just heard me play a concert F in tune, but what happens if it's, oh, I ripped that out. What happens if the tune slides like this? Well, it's going to sound really, really flat. You hear the difference? So that's also something you want to keep in mind when you're trying to play high notes, is always be in tune. Okay, 2 things I forgot to mention. Number 1, when you want to really be able to sustain high notes and try to build up your momentum and your endurance to play high, usually you would like start playing piano, and not a piano instrument like at piano. And and how to play piano, let's just cover this really quick. You don't push air as much. You don't like blow out the air like, let's just use a tissue as an example. So like, instead of kind of, and when it comes to, it's different. Air speed is kind of different than just tightening up your lips to make the air thinner. It can go different speeds, but you don't want to be like when you're trying to play high notes. Usually you want to build it up like something like that. I don't know if you saw, but that's how. But yeah, and typically you want to sustain high notes for a good period for, I guess, like a couple measures piano, which is the soft air. Documentation, day 1, trying to play high notes. I just got done with rehearsal. I'm already kind of dying right now. I have like, my throat cleanses up. I kind of lose oxygen in my mind, but my head, but learning how to play high notes, because I'm not really good at that. Like, and I feel like I need to learn that skill. So this is a good opportunity, but still, how I'm feeling right now, head, lost oxygen, my chest feels kind of like garbage, and my whole body just squeezes together. So yeah, documentation, love it. All right. So you've been practicing, or a little bit at all, and you're going about to start playing high notes. So here's a demonstration on the range, the quote-unquote final result of high notes. Now, I am not fair warning, like I said at the beginning of the video, I am not a skilled trumpet player, but I am I'm not a elite skill, but I am still intermediate, let's just say. So, scale. So I didn't go as far as I hoped to, and that's okay. And like I said at the beginning of the video, to give wide mouthpieces on Master, I was using my Vincent 5C. And yeah, I got pretty high, but I think my embouchure is a little bit dead right now. But yeah, keep practicing. It's gonna get better with over time. And people who are in, especially in high school, in lower, the lower tier band is what majority of I think what call it, or the band that doesn't, or not really always on the second or low second and third parts. It's I get it, like it's not easy, and you're not as skilled or you're just lazy, but yeah, it's a trial and error, and keep going. It's not an easy thing to do, playing really high. So anyways, that's it. Yeah, that's just really it. Any musicians who see this video, I apologize for all of the bad playing you heard. So yeah, and any constructive criticisms, just give it to me in the comments below, and I will see you all whenever.
Beam attack! Oh, I'm glad I missed. I'll get him next time. Beam attack! Maybe this one will hit him. Beam attack!